Good day all. I thought I'd do a box opening for another watch I got. And this is a brand that gets a little bit of poo-poo because it's seen as cheap and nasty, but, well, not always, but it's a very old brand in America, and it's having a bit of a revival with some of the release of their retro things. So if you can guess what it is, have a go. But yeah, I thought I'd pull this one out and do a box opening. I haven't opened this one yet. I took it out of the packaging because I'm hopeless at using the knives and things like that on a camera, so it'll just delay things. So here we go. So it's going the wrong way. Straight away. Oh, the colour is very bluey teal, which sort of matches the ottoman I've got it on for the time being. So I'll get it out of the box. Here we go. So TIMEX does a lot of nice little boxes. They're just cardboard, but I think that's good in this day and age. You know, like, how many people actually use the boxes or the containers that their watches come in? I don't use them at all because they go into watch cases and things like that. But I store the boxes in plastic containers so that if I ever wanted to on-sell them, I've got the original packaging. But I'm not in the market of selling at the moment. I collect because I like them. So yeah, of course the brand is TIMEX. Now I've had a lot of TIMEX over the years. The TIMEX brand is very synonymous with, you know, it takes a ticking, or what is it? It takes a ticking, a licking to keep on ticking, or something like that. Sorry, I messed that one up. But I used to be a surf coach in a previous life for a few years in between careers. And you had to have a watch, and you had to have it waterproof in the water. And what would happen, you push the kids or the adults onto the waves, and their leg rope would get wrapped around your arm, and Huey, the god of surf, would be sacrificed another watch. So I probably went through about 5 or 6 of these Timex Ironmans, and they're always great watches, except that, you know, no watch is going to withstand a leg rope wrapped around you and pulled off. It just pulls the pin out. So the watches had to be cheap and disposable. So at one stage I think I bought 4 or 5 at once on a bulk deal for about 200 Australian dollars. That was 15 years ago or something like that. So without further ado, let's open the box up and see what we've got. So obviously it says TIMEX Panam. So if you do know about the new TIMEX range, they have a whole lot of tribute things. I mean, Panam was an American airline. It was iconic, but it hasn't operated for more than 20 years probably. So here we go. Got nice foam there. So this is a quartz watch. It's their Chronograph. Get it out. And the reason I was attracted to this watch, there's actually quite a few in this Panam range. So if you wanted to collect them all, you know, you probably got about 10 watches to go. I'm just going with this one. And I just really like the aeroplane seconds hand. So of course it's a quartz movement. It's the Chronograph, so you've got the dial, the outside dial there, so you can time things. I'm trying to work out what the distance is. So most of it's for timing things like planes and racing cars and that. But if you do it a little bit less, you might be able to, you know, time someone running or a horse or something like that. To be honest, these days, who would use it? It's really a nod back to history. But the chronograph function's good. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, straight off. It was a nice light touch. Didn't require a firm push. I let it go around for a few seconds so you can see it ticking. And it looks like it's probably a Miyota type quartz. It's still got that little ticky sort of function, so I'd say it's not like the VH31s. I haven't actually looked at the stats for this, so I'm not a technical person. So if you come to this channel and you want to know what the width is and all those sort of things, you're probably not going to get it off me, because my ADHD means I'm just thinking so far ahead I can't do the basics of any of these sort of things. So I just collect them because I like it. It's in the probably slightly larger range, and what I'll do is watch of the day first is this Citizen Bullhead chronograph. It's quite a small one. I like it because the push dials are up here, and then they don't hit your wrist or anything like that when you're riding a bike or something like that. And that's the problem with the 3 o'clock crowns. So we'll put it on the wrist and see what it looks like. Oops, sorry, bang the camera. I won't bother doing it up, it'll just take too long. Yeah, that's nice. I don't think I'll change that band. I think I'll leave it on. I don't think this will be like an everyday wearer, but if I feel like going out and going to an air show or something like that, it'd be perfect. But yeah, nice blue colour. I think they come in the white dial as well. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. It looks like there's a couple of subdials on there. I haven't looked into them close enough, so I can't give you a technical answer as to what they're doing. And I think the bottom dial, yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I have to get back to you on that. But it says a 24-hour chronograph up the top, so that dial's going to move around as the hours pass, I presume. I mean, whoever leaves their chronograph running, unless you don't have a seconds hand, I normally would stop it. So let's just give that a bit of a stop. And it stops straight away, beautiful. And it should just go all the way around, being a non-mechanical watch. It'll go around to 60. Oh no, it went back. Okay, some of them go one direction, some of them go the other, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. On the back we've got the obviously sticker. Let me see if I can get that off without going out of shot. It's very hard to do everything on the fly. I've got I can't get that off. It is basically a simple case back with the Panam you can see on the back. So let me see if oh, there we go. I was trying to pull off the wrong end. That's nice. It's a combination of brushed and polished, it looks like. Again, I'm no expert on all the techniques applied, but I like the little engravings all going all the way around. And the name Panam, if you grew up, you were born, say, before 1980, you'd know this brand. It's just iconic. So yeah, that's the TIMEX Panam. I'm not exactly sure of the model, but what I do is, if I'm watching a show like this and I don't know what the model is, I'll just take a photo of the screenshot and then I'll just do a Google search image. So that's always a good way of doing it. Let's have a look at the crown. So it's not a screw down crown, it's just a pop in. So obviously it wouldn't have a great deal of waterproofing. But let's see how it adjusts. I don't know what's going on there. I have to read the instructions because I pulled out. Oh, there, I didn't have it fully out. So I'm in Australia. We've just come out of daylight savings, so it's 10:40 a.m. So I'll just set the watch. Some people go backwards with their watches. I always go forwards if I can help it. It doesn't really matter with quartz watches, but you've got to be a little bit careful between the 9 and the 3 when you're doing adjustments on mechanical watches. So what did we say? It was about 20 to 10. All right, so that turns fairly easy. There's no resistance. It's not too light either. I don't like really light resistance ones. It's just right. So this is in the Goldilocks zone. All right, we'll set it. Just pops in. Take that out again. I didn't check. All right, so obviously it's got hacking. I don't know why the chronograph hand keeps going around every time you pull it out. It just must be a reset function. Yeah, so it's got the hacking function, which 99% of watches have these days, which is really good. And nice deep blue colour. So I'll do a review on a couple of other TIMEX because this colour dial comes up quite often, to be honest. I've got a couple of other coming. So yeah, give me a like if you like the brand TIMEX. It's sort of like, it's in the mid-tier. I suppose you've got the Belova a little bit above, I suppose, then the TIMEX, and then you go down to things like Invicta. And with all these brands, even Belova comes up with some shocking watches, to be honest, but they've got some fantastic ones. So I don't like the blingy watches, and I don't like the really crowded precisionist type watches. It has to be able to read the dial, and this dial is pretty simple. As I said, I've got to read that bottom and top dial and work out what they are, but it looks like they're to do with the chronograph itself. Yeah, so this is a really nice watch. It's quite chunky. It'd be probably 10 or 15 mil. I haven't got my micrometer here, so I can't really do that. But yeah, check out the TIMEX Panam range. It's quite nice. Nice little box with all these old things. This is what people used to do back in the days. You'd have this massive brown suitcase. I think suitcases came in brown and black basically. If you were really rich, you might get a white one, but you very rarely had red ones and coloured ones. It was just brown or black. And all these tourists that going overseas would just put their stickers on their suitcases to look well travelled, and that's what it's trying to do. So yeah, a little bit of iconic history out of America. America's a great country, you know. They invented a lot of things and did a lot of things. It's just sad at the moment they're going back to the dark ages. But hopefully in the next 2 or 3 years you can right things and become back as a major force. But it's up to you, the people. You really need to sort of look into what's going on in your country at the moment. The rest of the world doesn't like you very much. We're your former allies, we look at it. But TIMEX is receiving a big resurgence, and I'm glad for that. I boycott a lot of American products, or 99%. But if you boycott watches when they come out with new releases, you're really ruining yourself. So I make exceptions on my watches because that's my hobby, but I've given up on my skateboards, Santa Cruz and that. I've got enough. So watches, I'll buy a few Timexes because they're a bit cheaper, and I buy a few Bullovas and Accutrons. So I still support American products where they needed, but I try not to spend my money there as a means of showing my displeasure with the current government. But I think that, you know, Timex is on a resurgence, and the golden years are again ahead of them. So have a look at some of the Timex stuff, because I'm not paid for any watches that I get. I buy them all myself. I never pay retail. I look around for sales. One little tip that I've got: if you see a watch that you like and it's full retail, shove it in your cart. Just shove it in your cart and then walk away. And what happens is there's some automation tools going on in the background with most of these sites, and they go, Joe Blogs, he just put this Timex Panam in his cart at $350, but obviously he doesn't want to pay it. So every now and then they'll just knock 10-20% off, or give you a voucher code or something like that. So that's one way of getting a watch cheaper, and I do that often with the watches that I like, and on about 50% of the occasions I've come back. So I think I paid about 290 Australian dollars, so it's well below retail. That would probably be close to 200 American dollars. So this was from a local seller that I use a little bit. I've bought about 3 or 4 watches, mostly Timex from them. I have another dealer in Australia where I get my Bullovas and Accutrons from, and he looks after me. So yeah, as they say in Countdown with Molly Meldrum, do yourselves a favour and check out the Timex range. See if I can go in for a little bit of a zoom. All right. So this is a fairly long video. I tried to make it short, but I just waffle on. And I'll stop it here. So yeah, it's a Timex Panam series. I don't have the exact model number, but there's quite a few in that range. Yeah, go and have a look online and see what you like.